Hey guys, it's M4J here and welcome back to M4J Racing here on F122, and we are in Belgium for the first Grand Prix of the episode. We're at the Belgian Grand Prix and I am doing the Pirelli Hot Laps here, which is racing against the AI down the... I can't remember what these corners are called, but basically down the back, not so straight, towards the bus stop chicane. I am in an AMG Mercedes, and I think it's the... Is it the GTR? AMG Mercedes GTR. I did have the supercar list because I had to make videos for it for racing games, and then I completely forgot what they all are. But yeah. Anyway, really struggled with traction to begin with down here. The AI Tremblay there very quickly got in front of me. Fortunately, I do know this bit of Spa quite well, and therefore was able to get back. Plus, I thought I'd decided to lick the stamp and send it into the chicane here. Managing to just about keep it on the track. Near disqualification for accumulated infringements, though. I'm not quite sure what that was all about, because I definitely had two wheels on the track, but we crossed the line and we won that race. Now, for those of you that don't know what this Hot Laps feature is, it's basically three races. One where you start off in front of the AI, one where you start level with the AI, which is what we're doing now, and then one where the AI starts in front of you. So we've already won the first one. 3 wins gets you the gold, 1 win gets you the bronze, 2 wins for a silver. Smacking into the back of Tremblay there was not part of the plan. But you can already see I'm in a much better position, got really good traction out of that corner, and I am away. Now, the next couple of races you're going to see. The Belgian Grand Prix here and the Dutch Grand Prix in this episode, and then I believe it's the Italian Grand Prix and the Japanese Grand Prix next week. The less said about these races, the better. I'm going to try to avoid as many spoilers as possible, but I can tell you this week, something does happen in a bit that was quite surprising for me, but it doesn't last. So you'll get ready for that when it happens. I'll carry on talking about what's going on with the hot lap in a second. The AI in this game is an issue right now. It's a known issue. Codemasters know about it. They're trying to fix it. Again, I did a video today, in fact, for racing games about the AI in F122. Do feel free to go check it out. The AI are like rocket ships on the straights, and I've been very frustrated for the last couple of races. I had a similar thing in Austria. I had a similar thing in Miami as well, and Silverstone, where the AI are just so quick on the straights. Even if you get the best traction ever out of a corner, you can't catch them. Now, my AI level's quite low. I've got no shame in admitting that. And even I'm struggling to catch the other cars out on track. So, there are some fixes going on. These races were recorded before the fixes were started to be implemented. So, there's a new traction... I lost the back end there. There's a new way that traction is applied when the player throttles now, and that's to try and combat the AI. I think it's to give you more traction out of corners, basically, so you've got more of a chance of getting a good start. I don't know how effective that's going to be, but we'll find out, I'm sure. I'm sure we'll find out. So that was the Pirelli Hot Lap out of the way. Now we've got the one-shot qualifying. Now, I spoke about AI difficulty. There was a patch recently. I think the guy had the clipboard floating through his arm there. Do you see that? There was a patch that came out recently, 1.06. So 1.07 is the latest one that's trying to fix the AI issues. 1.06 affected the handling of the cars. Now, I didn't notice much difference myself, but I'd been out of the car for a while at this point anyway, so there's a very good chance that it has made a big difference. But one thing I didn't realise was it reset all my settings on the main menu. So, as it turned out, the AI was actually very, very easy in one-shot quali here. You've still got to put a decent lap in, but it wasn't the level I was usually competing against. But I'll talk you through my lap here of Spa. That was really wide. That was a really bad corner there. I think my force feedback settings might have been tweaked slightly as well with the update. So there's partially the reason. Either that or, like I said, I've been out of the car for so long. And in fact, the last time I drove around Spa was on a completely different rig. So to use my rig again round here, I was expecting a different level of performance to the one I actually got. Never ride that curb on the left-hand side there. That's always disaster central. How I didn't spin out there, I don't know. And you'll notice at this point on the mini-map in the bottom left corner there that the AI is behind me. Normally at this point they'd be in front of me, shooting off into the distance, never to be seen again. But right now they are behind me. And we're coming up to the last proper corner here before the bus stop chicane. They are still behind me. And not only that, but they are actually losing ground on me. I am pulling away from them down this... what would you call this? It's not really a straight, is it? But it's like the back section of Spa coming up to the bus stop chicane here. They do have names, the corners in Spa. You've got Radion, you've got Eau Rouge, you've got La Source, which I think is the first corner right in front of us now. But I don't know all the names, to be perfectly honest. I don't know all the names. But that was qualifying, and I came first. Liam came last, but I came first. Was not expecting it. Don't know what happened. No idea. It was to do with the AI, I know that much, but why I was suddenly able to put in a really good lap like that, I don't know. Here comes the race then. Bad start, everyone flies through. I was kind of letting them at this point get past me because obviously I shouldn't have been at the front anyway, and between qualifying and the race I did bump up the AI again. So I think it's back on 50 if not 60, I'm trying to remember what I put it on. But yeah, overtaking, Verstappen there overtaking, going up Radion and Eau Rouge, terrifying. Then I got smacked there by Alonso, sorry. Then I think Ricciardo does come and hit me in a minute. There's a bit of a flashback that goes on here because I went wide, came back on, and then I think I spun out on this next corner here. It was also at this point I decided to limit the number of flashbacks that I had. Oh yeah, this is what happened. I spun out and had to carry on because I'd already used up my flashbacks. I think I set it on low, and there's only 2 that you get, and I used them on the start. So at this point I'm basically down dead last, 21st. There goes Guan Yu Zhou, just wheel banging. That's something else hopefully that Codemasters are looking into, is the aggressiveness of the AI. It's something I don't mind as much, but I feel like if I get penalised for it, then so should they. And I get penalised a lot for wheel banging, even when I don't feel it's my fault, which is harsh. George Russell has pitted. I think he took wing damage at the start. The AI does crash into itself as well. That's also something I've noticed in races. The AI does bang into, so like Verstappen might hit Russell, say. Oh, there goes my rear wheel. Yep, we crashed out in Belgium. We crashed out in Belgium, and I'm going to stop talking in a second, and we're going to let the celebrations do their thing, and then we'll come back for the Dutch Grand Prix. There's no point in me completing my thought about the AI there, because I can do it in a little bit when we do the Dutch Grand Prix. So, enjoy the celebrations, and I'll talk to you again in just a second.
Tell me, Anne, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
I really feel the track layout, combined with the track temperatures we saw today, suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there. Let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. Charles Leclerc, currently leading the championship standings, extends his lead even further with this result. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Charles Leclerc showed exactly how to manage yourself out on the track today. He was almost flawless out there. Incredible stuff.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. Well, that certainly was an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
So the roundabout to the swing here, I suppose, is that Leclerc won yet again, so I believe he still leads the championship. There I am at the bottom with the DNF. Season 1 is almost over. Season 2 I am considering going back up to 25% races, purely so I can have pit stops, safety cars, AI crashes as well, because I'm the only driver who's DNF'd so far this season. It would be nice to see some other drivers, you know what I mean when I say this, I hope. It would be nice to see some other drivers crash out of the races, basically. Not in a way in which they're in danger, of course, but, you know, just lose a front wheel as they clip a curb or something, just so it's not only me. Here we are then at Zandvoort for the second Pirelli hot lap of the video. Going very deep into the first corner there. And, yep, nearing disqualification yet again for accumulated infringement. Balls to that is what I say. It was my mistake, sure, but I hardly think I gained an advantage cutting across the gravel like that. The AI was behind me to start with and was still behind me after. So maybe I should have let him go through and then overtake him on the banked section here. Also, the banked section does still like to throw the car wide, as you saw there. And I think it does it to me during the actual race as well, which is a little bit scary. But, you know, we carry on. That was race 1. Nice little victory to get us started. I can battle the AI, as it turns out, but only in a supercar. If you put me in an F1 car with them, I panic. You might have also noticed in the Belgian Grand Prix that I was using the clutch for the first time. Wasn't that successful. If anything, it's one more thing to worry about, so I might go back to assisted starts, or at least not manual starts, automatic starts, whatever it's called. One where you don't have to press the clutch, basically. This is still me trying to push myself and get better at the game and challenge what I think I can do. But I've already got minimum traction control, no ABS, and now I'm doing manual starts. There is a lot to think about, and eventually I will be doing manual pit stops and probably formation laps as well. Although I kind of like the idea of doing broadcast formation laps, just so that's the introduction to the race moving forward, rather than, you might have noticed here, we don't have Alex Jakes introducing the race anymore. That's something Tom and I decided to cut for this episode onwards. I just felt like it was too much of a gap between me talking and me talking, basically. So yeah, you've got to hear me talking more often, I'm afraid. This was a really nice move on Tremblay. Did the old switcheroo not once but twice. Took him on the inside there, just about held the brakes, kept on the racing line, which is always nice. Rode the curb there, which feels very different in a supercar to an F1 car. And then round the inside of the banking this time, straight down the pit straight, and that is La Victoire for the third time. And I don't know why the AI decides to scooch straight into the wall there whenever it takes over, but it does. So that's something to think about, I suppose. Now, I don't know if we've got qualifying in this. It appears we don't. Looks like we're going straight into the... Oh, no, we have got qualifying. For some reason, the notes here just says Dutch Grand Prix race start. So maybe we are skipping qualifying? I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening, guys. No, this is qualifying. Yeah, this is one-shot quali. Okay. So yeah, this is quali then. So coming up to turn 1, you'll have to excuse me there. The notes didn't quite line up with the timestamps. The AI is back to its normal level now, and you can see they're already scooching off. And it's that is the problem. Don't get me wrong, I am slow out of corners, but ones here, for example, I don't think I was that slow accelerating away from this corner. But if you look at the gap now between me and Leclerc, just about saw him disappear over the horizon there. He's miles ahead. I overbraked way too much going into that corner. I did that all race as well. I got scared because the first time I drove Zandvoort, I went straight into that gravel trap, and now I'm terrified of that corner. So yeah, not a bad lap. I wouldn't describe it as fast as such, but it's definitely on the smooth side. One thing I was forgetting to do was short shifting out some of the corners, so I reckon I could have got a bit more traction and a bit more speed if I just short shifted up to 4th as quick as possible. Nearly rode into the gravel there, just about saved it. And again there, short shift, that would have been the key. Getting to 4th or 5th as quickly as possible and then putting the power down. This is my all-time favourite corner in F1 at the moment. Final corner at Zandvoort, it is a lot of fun. Took ages to get the DRS open there, and I'm pretty sure you can work out which position I qualified in. Dead last. Thank you, Tom, for the graphics. Liam Lawson in 20th. He's doing alright again now. As it seems to be, when I get worse, he gets better. So, yeah, I guess we've got that. And now into the race itself. Not the worst start. I'm kind of looking at Liam in front of me rather than Latifi. At this point, hanging at the back isn't the worst thing in the world to do. It just gives you the space and time to work out whereabouts you're going and things like that. As it turns out, Liam actually had a pretty good start. He made up a place or two on the first lap. Here we are now in lap 3. I think laps 1 and 2 were a bit chaotic for me because the AI just fills the whole track. Overtaking at Zandvoort, as it turns out, you've got the pit straight and you've got the back straight with the DRS. And that's about it. And I reckon there, if I was a little bit braver, I would have gotten past Latifi. Last year, I would definitely have gotten past Latifi on the exit of that corner there. Whereas now, I am terrified of losing control. A little bit smoother around that corner there at the top of the hill. Around here, I was kind of going through the motions of, you know, this is a 4th gear corner, this is a 3rd gear corner, but I think my speed was still way off, and I was still braking into corners, whereas you're supposed to really coast through most of the corners and with a little bit of throttle just to get the getaway. So not my finest racing. You could tell that I've been out of the car for a couple of weeks at this point and not really gotten back into it that smoothly. The last time I'd raced on a rig before this was in Assetto Corsa as well. Plus the update, you know, the handling did change. I am looking forward to getting back behind the wheel, not for next week because I've already recorded next week's video, but the week after, just to see what has actually changed with the traction. That was my personal fastest lap as well, lap 3. That was really wide there into the back of Latifi almost. And I know I went wide there, but again, I thought I would have a good straight line speed coming out of the corner and actually be able to get past him, and it just didn't happen. This is the end of the race. Yep, nice little spin there. Again, the reason there was a little cut there was I tried to use flashback and I'd already used my allocation in the race, so I had to continue. So unfortunately, I wasn't really catching up with anyone, but to spin on the last section of the track there, I was so frustrated. But that is it for the Dutch Grand Prix. I will be back shortly to go over the highlights. Not the best week, these two. Crashing out in Belgium was definitely not part of the plan, and to not really get much of a say at Zandvoort either, it is a little frustrating, that's for sure.
Many doubted whether they could pull off the win here in Zandvoort, but they've done so in spectacular style. So, Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we could talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those that we've witnessed today.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit, familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari, do it again. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Charles Leclerc, currently leading the championship standings, extends his lead even further with this result. Let's focus on Driver of the Day, Natalie Pinkham. Come on, who do you pick?
Well, my driver of the day has to be Charles Leclerc. He was unstoppable out on track today, weaving through the competition with ease.
Let's move on to the constructors. Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
So I've only got 2.5 minutes this week to wrap things up for you, because we've only got the one set of highlights, of course. I do wish that the game would still let you view your highlights when you crash out of the race, because a crash is still technically a highlight. That would be a cool feature maybe for next year. You can see they're 3 wide there going into turn 1, and yet whenever I go too wide with someone, I always get forced out. A Little frustrating. The AI in this game definitely needs some looking at. Like I said, I don't mind the fact that it's aggressive. I don't mind the fact that it can be challenging. It's the fact that it doesn't feel like a fair fight right now. It feels like no matter what I do, the AI will always beat me. That to me doesn't feel very fair. Now, of course, I'm driving the shittest car on the grid. We are the slowest. I've got a slow teammate as well. Although he is beating me every week at the moment, but we'll gloss over that for a second. It's just, I need the AI to feel like a fair fight. And hopefully, when the updates come out, as Codemasters roll them out, that will be the case. But yeah, for now guys, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and of course if you're enjoying the series, drop some comments down below, let me know what I'm doing wrong basically, that's always helpful. Otherwise, let me know how to improve the car, the team, any suggestions for teammates. I'm all ears right now, believe me. There's that lovely spin. Besides all that, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you guys for your continued support. I think I lost my end plate in that little spin there. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekends. And until next time, I will see you soon.